Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Middle Management Gamer. This is a special one today. Had a request for a particular game to be played. Uh, they asked for a zero-hit run of Battletoads from the original Nintendo. Um, that was not going to happen. Battletoads is a very difficult game, and I haven't played it in years. So what I have is a single run here. I played the game all the way through until I ran out of continues. Through the magic of editing, the continue screens have been removed. Just know that I used up every one of my continues in this run, and it is a complete run. And just to show you that it's not a no-hit run, I'll get hit right off at the beginning. Just so you know, I'm definitely going to get hit a lot. So, if you've never played Battletoads, I would say this game is an 8 out of 10. It's got great graphics. It's got really good music. I didn't go through the process of it, but if you pause the game, it's got this really great like thumping beat that plays on repeat. Just a lot of fun. So as you can see, you take on one of the titular Battletoads in this game. They all have funny like frog names like Zitz and Pimple, kind of reminiscent of the type of skin that frogs have. I think this is based on a comic book series. Not gonna lie, don't know the backstory of it. I just really enjoyed playing this game as a kid. It became really popular about the same time as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as far as video games go, and I don't know if it was just a cash grab for that. They're like, hey, Turtles are good, let's turn this comic book into a video game. Or if it was a video game first. Like I said, I haven't done any historical research. If you know anything about it, feel free to include in the comments. I love a good bit of trivia as far as that goes. Very versatile, the stuff you can do in this game. Very different combat as you fight through. Your character can morph his body into various items, like you have the big bad boot or the kiss my fist attack. And even the boss fights are, as we just reached one right here, a lot of fun. They're versatile, so this one, as they shoot, you have to pick up the rock and throw the rock back up at it. Doesn't look that hard when you're playing it, but I put many an hour into this game when I was a kid, so luckily my hands haven't completely forgot the skills required to play this game. The characters are interesting. This is like the evil queen. I guess she kidnaps one of your brothers and the princess. This is your like mad doctor who drives you around in his spaceship and takes you on missions. You see, I get to morph into a wrecking ball here. It's really cool. Blam! Difficulty curve on this game amps up probably on the next level, but even on this level, it's really easy to die if you're not paying attention or you make bad decisions. Coming up here is going to be some hook-billed birds that will cut the wire that I'm hanging onto, and I will plummet to my death. And that can happen to you very quickly if you're not paying attention. The other thing that made this game difficult and is not being displayed as I play it is on multiplayer. When you and a friend are playing co-op, you can hit each other a lot. And we would just get frustrated and just start beating the crap out of each other. I want to say that I got this game from my buddy Lee. I don't think this was originally one of mine. I don't know if we made a trade for it. I'm pretty sure that I never purchased one. Then again, I could have gotten in a lot collection because I do purchase Nintendo games in lots to, sometimes drive down the price of particular cartridges, buy a whole bunch at once. You never know what you're going to get. I have like 3 copies of Dragon Warrior in my collection because of that. Here's an instant where I'm going to die. See how easy it is to die? I had a full health bar. He just snapped it. Bam, dead. What made this game infamous and the difficulty of it is actually on the next stage, where you do the turbo tunnels, I believe is what it's called. You race a bike through, and I used up most of my continues on that, and you're going to see that coming up. So, as I said, this one was a request from one of my first subscribers, and I'm hoping he's enjoying watching it, and it's reminiscing. If you have any requests, feel free to add them in the comments. If I have the game, I will certainly load it up, do a review, do a playthrough, tell you what I think about it. Replay value, like this game for instance, you can pick it up and play it right now, and it's still as much fun as it was back in the 80s. That's the end of that stage. Here comes the turbo tunnels. This is where it gets really difficult. Some of the things that make this game extremely frustrating. The jumps. I don't know if it was trying to give the game more depth to view when you're playing it, but when you're making the jumps, it's very easy to miss them. You think you're going to make it, and you're actually jumping towards the screen and off of it. Oh, these little, like, Space Invader frogs stealing my life. Gotta watch these guys. You can see how the fighting changes up. See the big bad boot? And then you can turn into a ram. Typically, I do the big bad boot on this. Sometimes it's better not to kill the enemies right off the bat. You can get extra lives by getting extra points. By doing extra hits, like the extra kicks give you an extra 500, and then the final big bad boot gives you 5 grand. So, this game also has warp zones. I actually chickened out. You'll see as we play through the turbo tunnels right here. You'll see how it starts off really easy. I used to call these popsicles. I don't know why, they just kind of look like popsicles to me. The pink popsicles, the strawberry ones with the Good Humor makes, kind of reminded me of those. I don't know why. And there's checkpoints. When you get to the checkpoint, if you die, you'll go back to the checkpoint, start there. So that does make it easier. If you don't hit the ramps just right, you'll fall off too. Or if you try in the middle of the jump to re-steer your descent, you can cause yourself to fall off and die. I think my first turbo tunnel death is coming up here in just a second. You have to jump across these little islands. Incredibly annoying. Elevated ramps. Most of this stuff's easy to dodge. You can memorize the patterns. It's the same pattern every time. That's what you had to do. Because later on when you're playing through, it doesn't give you warning to where it's actually going to come up at. That one comes up right in the center, so you have to dodge to the top or bottom. That one caught me a lot as a kid. Alright, these weird things. If you hit them, it kills you instantly. Doing pretty good here. Actually, this was a pretty good turbo tunnel run. Right here. Looks like I landed that jump, you see? But I didn't. You gotta watch your shadow. Also, the 1-up that you have to line up your shadow with the 1-up tactic coming off the jump. You'll see I missed 1 or 2 of them coming through. Pretty sure I managed to make it through the jumps this time. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Alright, here's where it gets hard. You'll notice through the magic of editing that I'll lose all my lives and then I'll mysteriously have more lives. I just cut out the continue screen. Save a little bit of time on the video, a little bit of size to the file. You didn't need to see the continue screen. Just know that I die a lot right here. This would normally be the end of most of our Battletoad runs. It took forever to memorize them all. You see, it's tough. The nuances of the dodging of those things is crazy. So this is the point on this run where I give up and I decide to take the warp zone, which is in front of one of the popsicles, and you just have to know which one it is and run into it. Problem is dodging in time and lining up the actual crash, so you go into the... There it is. The next really obnoxious stage is the Surf's Up stage. Basically, it's 2 hit kills through here, so it's a little bit easier than the bikes, but still obnoxious. Same point, you don't have to do it again. The logs move. And see, that takes half your life. You can bounce over them if you time it just right. And then there's these whirlpools. See, there's the one up. You get stuck in the whirlpool after you got hit by a log, it will kill you. Yep, there we go. This game had everything. I mean, that's why this game's so awesome. It's surfing, and motorbikes, and fighting, and co-op. And you could actually beat up your friend while you're playing it. You know, it's kind of like precursor to the fighting games, because basically I think the only other game we had really that allowed you to do that at the time was Double Dragon, because Street Fighter was not even a thing yet. At least not the popular Street Fighter 2. I don't think most people played Street Fighter 1. I'm not even sure when that came out, but a lot of people didn't play that until the Anniversary Collection came out and allowed you to pick it up. Timing, very important in these old video games. I think we're going to have another instance coming up where I did some editing because I died a lot and I didn't want you to see the continue screen again. I think you got... I wasn't paying attention to how many continues I use. It's 4 or 5. Got a little mini boss here coming up. They always try to weaken you right before the mini boss battle by having those. But they also normally give you a weapon. Whenever you fight one of these walkers, you can steal one of their legs and use it as a weapon, get some extra points. You can actually throw the helmet too, but I always crush it because I was never able to really throw the helmet effectively. The headpiece to the walker, I don't even know how much damage it does. It probably does a lot if you actually hit something with it. Easy to mess up and make bad choices and bad timing decisions. And they can catch you in an infinite hit loop. Like this guy right here is going to destroy me like 6 or 7 times before I finally beat him. You can also catch him in an infinite hit loop if you get him up against the wall and just keep hitting him with the leg. But I couldn't get the timing right. He just landed on me. And if he lands on you like that, it's instant kill. When you come back to life, you're invincible for a little bit. And you can pick him up and throw him, like I just did there. When you're invincible, it doesn't really show up on the screen very well. My card capture, it almost looks like I'm invisible, not invincible. See, it just keeps hitting me as soon as I get up. I can't do anything. There was continue there, so I have to do the board over again. I probably could have cut this out. I guess you didn't really need to see this anyway, but whatever. I'll get the hang of this editing thing one of these days. So again, I got a pretty sizable book of video games. I'll probably include in the video descriptions at some point. If you have an interest in a game you want to see, I already kind of have my next video picked out. It's Galgo 13. If you're not little known gem. There is an anime, a manga, really good. This particular game is set in, mostly it goes all around the world, but you start off in Berlin during the Cold War, and it's kind of like a spy thriller. It's a lot of fun. That should be coming out in the next day or so. I just gotta play it and film it and then edit it, and I'll put it for thing. But if you have any requests, like I said, add them in. I'll be doing Nintendo games. I have a few Genesis games. I have a few Nintendo games. I have a couple of the golden oldies, but Nintendo 64 as well. Just throw it in there. Tell me what you want to do, and I'll do my best to give it. Booyah. Frog catching is incredibly, flying. Yep, he can stomp you when you're on the ground already, and that's an instant kill. You can time the ram button and hit him over and over again too. The little golden pole actually is kind of the best way to get him. First, I'm going to where you can't see him here in a second. It's really hard. Oh, I'm at him. Ooh. This guy's obnoxious. Alright. There we go. And this was my last life on this continue. So I got really lucky going through here. Because the mines are one-hit kill. Still easier than the turbo tunnels. Those jumps right there can be really treacherous though if you're not careful. Because, like I said, you can bounce right over the ramp and miss it. That was a one-up I missed. Hang 10. Alright, and up next we have we would call this the Beetlejuice stage, because if you remember, they had the sandworms in Beetlejuice. That's what these things remind me of. And they're all striped like Beetlejuice was. What really sucks is, pretty sure I'm out of continues here, and I'm about to die, and that is the end of this run. But, you can see, awesome game, totally worth playing. This is a game that they absolutely should do a reboot on. I think everyone would really enjoy playing it with the success of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reboot they just did video game wise. Everybody's playing that. It's supposed to be really awesome. I haven't actually given it a try yet, but I look forward to doing so. Super fun game. You should give it a try. Get an emulator and download it if you aren't able to get a copy yourself. I'm a purist. It's always more fun to get the actual game and play it that way. But anyway, do you. That's the end of this run. If you got any more, like I said, requests, put them in the comments. And like always, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much.